We come to night 333, page 81 of Arabian Nights. Night 333. Morning now dawned, and Shahrazad broke off from what she had been allowed to say. Then, when it was the 333rd night, she continued, I have heard. If you want to know what happened in 332, you have to listen to 332. I have heard, O fortunate king, that Ali went on. When she had finished writing this, she sealed it and gave it to me. My lady, I said, this note could cure the sick and quench raging thirst. I took it and was setting off with it when she called me as I was leaving and said, tell me, she will be your guest tonight? Tell him, she says, tell him she will be your guest tonight. He's still acting as go-between. This made me very happy indeed, and I took the note to Jubair, Jubair, whom I found as I came in, waiting for the answer, with his eyes fixed on the door. I gave it to him, and when he had opened it, read it, and understood its meaning, he gave a great cry and collapsed in a faint. That's so dramatic. You don't know? When he recovered, he asked me whether Budur, you know Budur and Jubair, Budur, had written the note with her own hand and touched it with her fingers. I said, do people write with their feet? Then before the two of us had finished talking, we heard the clicking of her anklets as she came into the entrance hall. When he saw her, Jubair leapt to his feet as though there had never been anything wrong with him. It seems that people can get up if they want to. They fake that. They fake thickness all the time. I said, just get up. He embraced her as the letter Alif embraces the letter Lam. And his seemingly incurable disease left him. He gets out of his funk. Jubair then sat down, but Budur remained standing, and when I asked her why this was, she said that she would only sit in accordance with a condition agreed by the two of them. I wanted her to tell me what this was, but she said, no one can be allowed to learn lovers' secrets. Then she put her mouth to Jubair's ear and secretly whispered something to him. To hear is to obey, he said. And he got up and muttered something to one of his slaves, who went out for a time. When he came back, he had with him a gadi and two notaries. My goodness. Jubair rose and fetched a bag containing 100,000 dinars. 100,000. Wow, that's a lot of dinars. It's a large bag. You can go buy lunch for a couple dinars. He said to the Qadi, marriage contract between me and this girl for this amount. Hmm. The Qadi asked Budur, tell me, are you willing to accept this? I am willing, she said. The contract was then drawn up, after which Budur opened the bag. Taking a handful of coins from it, she presented them to the Qadi and the notaries. Then she gave back the bag with the rest of its contents to Jubair. Qadi left with the notaries, after which I sat with the two of them in pleasurable relaxation. God, it's good to relax after this couple, the torments of this couple, until the greater part of the night had passed. Then I said to myself, these are two lovers who have long been parted, and I must get up immediately to sleep somewhere far removed from them to allow them to be alone with each other. So I stood up, but Budur held the skirts of my gown and said, what are you thinking of? Such and such, I told her, but she said, sit down, and if we want you to go, we will send you off. So I sat with them until it was almost dawn. When Budur told me to go to a room that had been prepared as a bedchamber for me, I slept there, and in the morning a servant brought me a ewer and a basin, after which I performed the ablution and performed the morning prayer. See, I was in a Muslim hotel in Turkey. There was nowhere to stay. I was traveling from Konya to Istanbul. And I've come to this Muslim-based spa. So I had to do the morning ablution and perform the morning prayer as part of admission to the hotel. Yeah. So that's the way it works. When I had sat down, I saw Jubair, and Budur. Jubair, Budur, coming out of the house baths, each wringing out their locks. I greeted them and congratulated them on their well-being and their reunion, remarking to Jubair that what had started with the insistence on conditions had ended in contentment. Insistence on conditions had ended in contentment. You are right, he said, and you deserve generous treatment. He then called for his treasurer and told him to fetch 3,000 dinars. Oh, wow. I could be rich. And when this is how much I get paid for reading this. And when these had been brought in a bag, he asked me to please accept them. I shall not take them, I replied, until you tell me how, after you had been so strong in your rejection of Budur, this love was transferred from her to you. To hear is to obey, he said. You must know that we have a festival called Nowruz, on which people go out in boats to enjoy themselves on the river. And I and my companions went to join in the celebrations, and I caught sight of a boat in which there were 10 girls like moons, with Lady Budur in the middle of them, holding her lute. She played 21 different variations on it, and then returned to the first and recited these lines. Fire is colder than what burns in my entails. The rock is softer than my master's heart. I wonder how he has been fashioned, a heart of stone in a body smooth as water. I asked her to repeat the lines to the same tune, but she refused. Fire is colder than what burns in my entails, and rock is softer than my master's heart. I wonder at how he has been fashioned. A heart of stone and a body smooth as water. This was night 333. 333. Leading into next was 334. With the story, somehow Jubair and Budur, don't know if she answered the question about their love affair. Hmm. Hmm. So reading night 333 of Arabian Nights, produced in 2008 with Penguin Classics. So it's Malcolm Lyons, translator, not Richard Burton. Richard Burton, huh? This is a pretty good version, I think.